I'm Kathleen, and I make videos for parents on how to have the modern day sex talks. But today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to share with you some of the limitations that I'm faced with as a content creator in the sex education field here on YouTube, as well as on my other social media accounts. Now, I knew going into this that sex education wasn't the most widely embraced topics, but I believed it was important and it's what I know, so I wanted to share that. The way I provide the information is the way I would in my university lectures. I would provide the factual information and the science behind it, and then provide the information that parents would need in order to incorporate their values, their religious beliefs or cultural beliefs. And I felt that I could do this through the medium of YouTube. YouTube had a generous policy around sex education. They were not limiting of sex education, and I noticed that when I first started making videos. In the community guidelines, it states that non-graphic sex education is allowed, and that's what I do. And then YouTube restricted the availability of this video. It's a video on porn literacy, and it's part of a porn series I made for parents on how to have the porn talks. This was the first video for me that got a age restriction status. Basically, YouTube said they were going to limit this video to individuals over 18. They also put it as limited monetization, which means that they felt that this video was not suitable for most of their advertisers. Now, this isn't my first video on YouTube to be restricted, but it is the latest one that just pissed me off. So now I'm interested to know why they put so many restrictions on it. It is a porn literacy video. I do talk about vaginal, anal, oral sex in it. I would say that falls under the non-graphic sex education. There's no pictures in this video. So why? Why was it limited? So let me show you what I'm talking about. When I upload a video to YouTube, I have to go in and tell YouTube what my video is about. So here's what I would do. So here you can see that I let YouTube know that this video is not made for kids. But I don't restrict my videos to only individuals over 18 because the same things that I'm teaching parents is what I would teach kids when I was a sex ed teacher in school. So it's not information that they aren't allowed to know, but my intention is to educate parents. And of course, some parents are under 18. Next, I go over to monetization. I finally made it into the YouTube Partner Program this year, so I turn on monetization so you guys can see an ad and I get a little bit of money from YouTube. We come here to add suitability, and the area that really pertains to me is just this adult content, right? This area around sexual behavior, language, and expressions. This is what my videos tend to focus on. So if you look at the first section, it says romance or kissing, discussions of romantic relationships or sexuality without reference to intercourse, fully censored nudity that's indiscernible and without intent to arouse, sensual dancing in a professional setting with full or partial nudity, and then non-graphic sex education. So I'm thinking, okay, this is what my videos fall into. So I just kind of double check and I look and I see, okay, what is sexually gratifying content that aren't sexually gratifying? There are dramatized cuddling scenes. I'm like, okay, discussions of sex in non-sexually gratifying ways, right there, sex education, that's what I do. So I would say that my videos would fall into this category, right? I'm really talking about sexual orientation. I'm not really doing anything that in a sensual or sexual way. There's no nudity in my videos. So yeah, I would say that my video would fall into this category. So when I rated my porn literacy video as being safe for ads, and then YouTube came back to me and said, no, it's not, I was confused. And it made me go in and take a look at what they were deeming videos that are not eligible for advertising. So I go back into this area and I click on adult content. I skip the first one because they've already said that it's not safe for ads. I skip the second one, I go to the third one. This is the area that they say, is of concern, right? Exposed, minimally covered sexual body parts or full nudity, sexual acts, discussions of sexual topics, such as that. And I think, yes, I did mention that in my porn literacy video because it is a topic that is in porn and needs to be presented and explained when having a porn literacy porn talk. So yeah, I did mention that. So as I go through and I kind of look at what they're being more descriptive about, it does say down here, depictions But I didn't do that. I didn't do any depictions. So I'm like, okay, well maybe they got it wrong. And then I go a little further down. Right here, mentions of it even when it's not descriptive. So I mentioned it, and that's what made it restricted. And so right here is where I realized that basically saying those two words together makes the video basically ineligible for ads, and I can't really make any money off of it. Another one of my videos that got flagged and receives limited ads is the video where I discuss the differences between sexually explicit and implicit content. In the video, I break down the sexually implicit spectrum and how one person could take a picture and say, this picture is sexually implicit, while another person says, no, it's not really sexually implicit. And I talk about the nuance around that. And YouTube deemed this video too sexually implicit. But do I think this information is important? Yes, but will I make another video around sexually implicit content knowing that I may not receive any revenue for it? Probably not. And this is part of the frustration that many sex educators have, and myself included, when it comes to getting this information and education out there. Over 2 years ago, I chose YouTube as my main media stream for my educational content. I saw that they had a clear path to monetization, they didn't have significant censorship around sex education, and it was well established. Everyone knows what YouTube is. I initially set up a Facebook and Instagram account to promote my YouTube channel and interact with more parents, and of course they have their own challenges. TikTok definitely has its own challenges. That's why you see so many misspellings of words or using words that actually infer to something else. For example, when I use the word corn and encourage parents to have the corn talk, I'm not actually talking about corn. Anyways, I didn't get into the sex education field for the purposes of making a lot of money. I mean, anybody who works in this field can attest that there's not a lot of money in this area of public health. But I am comfortable talking about sex, and I can take nuanced concepts and break them down into a more consumable way so that people can take that information and learn from it and process it. Monetary frustrations aside, if you have ever found my videos to be helpful, useful, or impactful when it comes to having the sex talks with your kids, please let me know in the comments, or consider buying me a coffee, or share my videos or my YouTube channel on your social media, or subscribe if you haven't. And please watch the ads on the videos that have them. These small things can truly help a small content creator like myself. And of course, I'll be back with more videos. I truly do enjoy making these videos, but I've just got to find a way to balance making all of this content and earning a basic income. So if you've got suggestions, let me know.